Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So let's put our phone on silent or flight mode. Haribo. So we are all here, a little bit in Hindi and Odia. Hare Krishna. ISKCON Bhubaneswar Bhakta Vrinda welcome you to Sri Dham Mayapur. And we have here Srila Prabhupada, dear disciple and very dear, our very dear own, our well-wisher, His Grace Jivanatha Prabhu, who is commonly called here as Jiva Prabhu. So we the fallen Jiva, conditioned souls, have come to the lotus feet and we beg for Prabhuji's and Srila Prabhupada's mercy so that we can do some progress in this Krishna conscious path. Most of us are devotees and the parents and sisters or brothers who have come, they are new. So they will have a good experience today. आज गोटे भल आपण मानकु ये मिलिबो तो समस्ते एथिरे पूरा ध्यान सह निजर फोन साइलेंट करी ये प्रोग्राम रे भाग नियंतु. आमे प्रथमे स्टार्ट करिबा ब्रीफ कीर्तन रे. प्रभु जी आउ may I know his name?
Krishna Avatar.
He is Krishna Avatar Prabhu. So he is a very good guitarist. Prabhuji told that we should have a good Kirtan today. Hari Bol. Last time we had a good dancing Kirtan and Prabhuji taught us so many steps. Then we started and then now we have Avatar Prabhu. So now we will start with small Kirtan. Then Prabhuji will share his experiences in ISKCON, how he came in. We all know, we have heard quite a few stories. Last time Prabhuji shared and also his Mangalarti story and other story, how you joined ISKCON first time, that time, and so many other stories. So let us welcome Prabhuji. I request His Grace Satat Prabhu, Thailand, His Grace Jivanatha Prabhu. His Grace Jivanatha Prabhu ki jai.
Thank you. You'll have to excuse me. My knees, they know how old they are. I don't, but my knees do. So I'm only good for a couple dandavats a day. So I think I'm all dandavatted out for today. So I apologize. But, thank you so much. Namo Vishnu Vadaya Krishna Varsaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatati Satarni Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram So Amartyaj Prabhu, he mentioned that there are some new people here. If you're new, put your hand up. Really? It's like almost everybody. Wow. So this new means what? What does new mean? This is your first time in Mayapur? Yeah? Who understands English? Does everybody understand English? You all? You do? You don't know. They'll just smile a lot. Okay. That works too. You could pretend I'm saying something really important. So, I just wanted to, we talk about God. And, because we're devotees, we have so many stories that we can say about God, because God to us is a person, the supreme person. Imagine if you didn't know that, and you say, okay, God is light. Yeah, okay, God is light. What does that mean? The lights are on, God's there. The lights are off, God's not there. What does that actually mean? What if God is love? You ever hear that one? In the West, we get that a lot. God is love. Okay. What happens if you're in an argument with somebody? Is that still God is love? How do we understand that? So it's very difficult to understand without the Vedic scriptures guiding us and the spiritual master giving us those Vedic scriptures to help us understand who is God. Now, God is obviously unique. Krishna is unique. And I can tell you the first book I ever got was the Krishna book. And I was like so amazed. God can do this kind of stuff. God likes beating up demons. God has fun doing it. I mean, I have fun listening to it, but God really, he likes doing that kind of stuff? And I was thinking, this is amazing. Because growing up in America, Christianity was what my parents followed, so I was brought up in that. And I remember thinking, okay, well, who is God? Somebody give me the answers. And they don't have them. There's no answer. Just believe. Believe what? Give me something. God is... Just have faith. Like, come on, really? I mean, faith goes a little bit, but if you want to really dedicate your life, you need a little bit more. I need a little more than just faith and this blind belief. I want something. Give me something. And Srila Prabhupada came to America. He gave us that. He said, this is God. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he likes doing all kinds of really fun things. Fun things. And now that sounds like something I can enjoy myself. I enjoy listening when people tell me, you know what I did? I jumped off this bridge and then I did this. And you go, wow, that sounds like fun. I can relate to that. So in Krishna consciousness, we're given the opportunity to relate to God. Now, in this life that we're in right now, well, especially my life, because I'm old. I hate to say it, but I am old. No, it's okay. I'm dealing with it. But I'm 72 years old. And so I had the wonderful mercy of actually meeting Srila Prabhupada. And that's something that I carry with me. And I'm still carrying with me. And that's why I'm still here to talk about it. Because I take that with me. I never let Srila Prabhupada leave my consciousness or my heart. And if it works for me, it can work for you. That's the beauty. Now Srila Prabhupada, he was such an interesting person. Not just, okay, he's a pure devotee, he sees Krishna, he's hearing directions from Krishna, but he was an interesting person. I'm going to tell you a story. This is a fun story. Now, when they first went to England, Prabhupada sent 6 devotees, 6 of his senior disciples to England. And the goal was to start a temple. Now they were all ready to start this temple, and they invited Srila Prabhupada. Now, by this time, there's a few extra devotees there. And Srila Prabhupada said to them, we're going to start this temple. We need deities. And those devotees had never really heard the word deities. What are deities? We're Americans, remember? Deity? What's a deity? So they actually had to ask some of the Indian people that they had met in London, what's a deity? And then they told them, oh, these are like statues of Radha and Krishna. Wow. So they put it out through the whole community, the whole Indian community, which is quite large in England, especially London. We want to start a temple. We are the Hare Krishnas. We need deities. Can somebody help us? What else could they do? They had no idea. They had no knowledge. They had nothing. They thought, well, at least we'll put it out. Maybe the Indian community can help us out here. Guess what? Somebody messaged them. Said, hey, we have deities. We're not going to worship them. All right. So 2 devotees, Tamal Krishna and Shyam Sundar. You've heard these names? Okay, they're kind of one of the originals. Some of the originals. They went to this gentleman's house. Okay, you have deities? And the man said, yes, I do. Okay, where are they? We don't see them. He says, oh, they're over here in the corner. There's a cloth over them. You can go look. They pull back the cloth, and sure enough, there's these beautiful Radha Krishna deities. And devotees are like, oh, they're amazing. So they said, they're beautiful. And the gentleman says, would you like them? They said, wait, we have to ask our guru. He's here. We'll ask him what he thinks. So they ran out, went to a phone booth. Anybody know what a phone booth is? You've heard of them, right? You've never seen it though, right? Went to a phone booth, which is a big box with a phone hanging in it. No cell phones. We're in the 70s, 1970s, no cell phones. They go to the phone, they call Mukunda Maharaj now, picks up the phone. They said, put Prabhupada on the phone. We found deities. And Mukunda says, he's asleep, he's having his nap. They said, no, you gotta wake him up. This is special. So Prabhupada is woken up, he comes to the phone. Prabhupada, we found some deities. He says, I'll be right there. They drove him to the place. Srila Prabhupada comes into the guy's house, greets him. Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Swami Bhaktivedanta. And he sits down. And Tamal and Shyam Sundar are so excited. They can't wait. They found these deities and they're feeling kind of proud. We actually got deities. They're here. We just have to work it out. We got the deities. We found them. And Prabhupada starts talking to the man. Where are you from? The guy starts explaining. He says, what kind of work do you do? So he's explaining again. Prabhupada says, are you married? He says, yes, I am. He says, where is your wife? Calls his wife in. He starts talking to the wife. And Tamal Krishna's like, what is he doing? Why is he wasting all this time? Let's get to the point. We're here for the deities. Prabhupada says, you have children? He says, yes. He says, bring them here. One by one, Prabhupada gets introduced to all the children. Any other relatives in the house? Well, yes, my sister and her husband, and then bring them down. And Tamal's like, come on. We found them. What are you doing? And Prabhupada keeps talking and talking and talking. And now the man starts to get a little agitated. He says, you have come to see these deities, haven't you? Prabhupada says, yes. Are you eating nicely here in London? Yes. Do you want to see these deities or not? Prabhupada says, all right then. He says, Shyam Sundar, come with me tomorrow. Where? They lift the thing, Prabhupada looks and he just goes and sits down. It's very nice. The man's like, you know, because he's thinking, geez, a little bit of, guy's kind of a little bit, okay. Tamala and Shyam Sundar are sitting there. And they're not knowing what's going on. Prabhupada says, go over, see if you can lift them. So Tamala goes, Radharani, yeah, I can lift her. Shyam Sundar to Krishna, yeah, I can lift them. He says, okay, pick them up, let's go. And they walk out of the man's house. And meanwhile, the man and his whole family are chasing after Prabhupada. Wait, Swami, wait, hold on. We didn't discuss this, we didn't negotiate. Prabhupada says, put them in the van. The guy's banging on the window. Whoa, Swami. Prabhupada says, take off. And they drive 2 blocks down the street. Prabhupada says, stop the van. He uncovers the deities and he starts singing the Brahma Samhita prayers. He says, now, let's go. So Prabhupada is, a little bit shifty. How's that word? For Krishna. You do things for Krishna. But Prabhupada showed a side that the devotees had never seen before. But you do it for Krishna. But Prabhupada knew how to work every situation. That man would have not just said, hey, have them for free, no problem. Prabhupada knew how to play the situation. Worked him, bye. So he got the deities. So, Krishna consciousness is teaching us all to utilize our personalities, but utilize them for Krishna. That's the most important part. We all are different. Nobody here looks like anybody else here. Nobody here looks like anybody else here. We don't look alike. We don't act alike. We've all been given some special talents, some special abilities, but they're only special if you give them back to Krishna. If you give them back to the spiritual master in service, then they become special. My friend here, Krishna Avatar, he's from Uruguay, which is in South America. Anybody ever heard of Uruguay?
Yes.
Anybody ever been to Uruguay? Oh, he's been to Uruguay, but that's about it. But we're very different. He's from Uruguay. I'm from Pennsylvania in the USA. But yeah, we have been doing programs together now for 8 years here in Sri Dham Mayapur. There's a connection. The connection is Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna. So while we have this wonderful devotee who is an expert musician, let's chant a little bit. We'll come back to another story. One of the things I really like doing in Kirtan is to make up the tune. Right there, right then. I pray to Krishna, please, just give me a tune. And something comes out. And almost all the time it works. And you go, where'd you get that? Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now, so often in Kirtan, you hear the Kirtaniya say, go deeper. What does that actually mean, to go deeper? How do you go deep when chanting? To go deep just means make it so this is a personal relationship. It's only you and the holy name. And you want to develop the deepest, closest relationship you can have, because Krishna is the holy name. So if you really want to experience God, chant and just give it all you have. And that doesn't mean you just yell as loud as you can, but you pour your heart into every syllable of that mantra. That's what it means to go deeper. So let's try to go a little bit deeper, since this is what we call a quiet or a bhajan. Okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. One time in England, Srila Prabhupada, and he always had the same process when he'd speak. He'd start with a little kirtan, then he would speak, then he would finish with kirtan. So at the final kirtan, he had his disciple Jamuna Devi chant. He loved the way she sang, so he got her to chant. And while she was chanting, Prabhupada started singing, Narada Muni Bhajaya Veena. And she looked over, and she's thinking, am I supposed to stop chanting? Prabhupada wants to sing this bhajan? But Prabhupada had his eyes closed, and he was just going like that, and singing to Narada Muni. And after the night was over, Jamuna said, Prabhupada, you've never done that before. Was I supposed to keep chanting? And he says, no, you did the right thing. He said, I just saw Narada Muni come in, and I wanted to praise him by singing his song. She was like, okay. So, I don't know if Narada, I can't see him, but we just don't know who's here, do we? We don't know. I remember I was in Jagannath Puri a couple of months ago, and we did a Harinam on the beach, which is what I like. I like loud chanting. This is nice, I like this, but I like to be loud, like that. So we were on the beach, and there was probably 25 Russian devotees and me chanting on the beach. And I had never felt this before, but I felt the presence of Lord Chaitanya. I was getting goosebumps, and I was afraid to look around just in case I actually saw him out here. But I felt him, and I've been doing kirtan for a while, so this was the first time in my life I felt Lord Chaitanya's presence there. Now after the Harinam, which was very ecstatic, one of the other devotees came up to me and said, I can feel Lord Chaitanya here. I said, you too? So it wasn't just me. So you just don't know. So when you put your whole heart and soul and give it to Krishna, give it to his holy name, maybe Narada Muni's here, maybe Lord Chaitanya's here, maybe Krishna himself is here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So in Kirtan, how important is it that the Kirtan leader has a good voice? Well, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati used to actually get the worst singer to sing. Because you don't want to become puffed up, thinking, I'm not doing this for Krishna, I'm doing this for me, and then everybody can hear how good a singer I am. And he would always detect when somebody was feeling that, and he would stop. Srila Prabhupada here in 1974, the devotees decided to have what they called like a Kirtan contest. Temples had their best Kirtan people, and they had Kirtan, and then you would judge who's best. Is it Chicago? Is it Australia? Is it Los Angeles? And so people actually rehearsed. Some did. Some took it very, very serious. Especially there was one temple, Chicago. Now, the temple president of the Chicago temple was a rock star before becoming a devotee. And he actually used to choreograph. You know the word choreograph? Tell everyone to, they'd all be doing it together, all the devotees. Cartel guys would be going like this together, some guy would be doing this. It was a show. It was a show. And they really wanted to win. And so he starts singing like, Hare Krishna. He had a great voice. But as soon as Prabhupada heard him, he said, stop. Right there, stop. He could feel he wasn't singing for Krishna. He was singing because he wanted all the devotees in ISKCON to say, you're the best. So we have to be very careful of that. Now, most of us have bad voices, so you don't have to worry about it. Does that mean you don't sing loud because you don't have a good voice? No. It doesn't mean that at all. Krishna is not saying, oh, he's pretty bad. I think I'll give him laryngitis. No, Krishna just wants you to, what? Effort. Put the effort in. Don't think, oh, I don't have a good voice. I shouldn't sing very loud. No. Sing. Sing with your heart. Your heart is what Krishna wants. He's not interested in, that's the wrong pitch. That's the wrong tune. That's the wrong, no. It's all good. Krishna's happy by our effort. So put the effort in, Krishna will reward you. How? He'll give you a taste a taste of Krishna consciousness in the holy name. So let's put a little more effort this time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, just 1 second. Does anybody play the djembe? You can bang it a little bit. Make a little noise. Professional, I hope. Make some noise, that's all. Okay, ready? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna Krishna, which is the birthplace of Kirtan. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Sankirtan movement. Now I will say, there's nobody that can find a picture of Lord Chaitanya with his hands in his pockets or his arms folded. He won't see it. What do you usually see when you see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Now I'll tell you one story. Prabhupada, when he first started the movement, he allowed the new people coming to dance the way they wanted to. So this is the 60s, the 1960s in America, and everybody was, you know, there was a lot of drugs. And most of the people that were coming were doing drugs. So they were, you know, out there. And Prabhupada allowed it. He then showed them the Swami step. It's very nice. There's one story. In 1975, we had buses that traveled all around America. Now, you know buses, they're not very high ceiling. And most of those American boys who were on the bus were like my height, Krishna Avatar's height. So dancing was restricted. You couldn't put your hands in the air because this was as high as it went. So the devotees stopped dancing like Lord Chaitanya, like Srila Prabhupada showed. You couldn't do the Swami step because you were all packed in. So what did they do? Well, in the 1960s in America, there was a famous dance. It probably didn't make it to India. What a shame. It was called the twist. You know the twist, right? We know the twist. Us seniors know the twist. How did it go?
Yeah, like this.
Show me, come on. You can do it. Twist. You just twist it. So all these young, 20-something-year-old, strong American men were all on the buses in Kirtan. That's all they could do. Now all these buses had converged in Chicago. 6 buses. Srila Prabhupada was there, and they were all coming to see Prabhupada. So the first Guru Puja, Shri Guru, everyone's so ecstatic, and they're all going. And Prabhupada's going. He said to Tamal Krishna Goswami, "What are they doing?" And Tamal had to say, "Well, in the buses, Prabhupada, there's no room. We can't put our hands up. You can't even move. You just have to stand there." So they're all doing the twist. Prabhupada, tell them to stop. But you do what you can. We have the ability to put our hands in the air, right? So we will do that. I'm not going to ask you to do the twist. Can I?
No.
Well, let's do it just for the nostalgia of it all. Everyone knows what they're doing. Should you come up here and show them? Oh, come on. Okay. So now we're going to pretend it's 1975. You've just been on the Radha Damodar traveling buses. You've come to Chicago. Srila Prabhupada's there. There's a wild kirtan going on, and you do the twist. I won't tell anybody you did it. No pictures, please.
Hey.
Okay, you ready? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. There you go. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna mantra working is bringing you to a different place. Yes? You feel a little different than when you first walked in? I hope so. Because that's the power. And you know, Srila Prabhupada once asked his disciples, he said, do you know why I wrote all these books? And they all gave these great intellectual answers. so that we can know the absolute truth and all different things like that. And Prabhupada says, listen, I wrote these books to convince you to chant Hare Krishna. Get that? And Prabhupada even said, you don't need to read the books. But he didn't mean it like that. You must be convinced. Be convinced that the Hare Krishna mantra is the only thing. There's no other way. There's no other way, there's no other way than this chanting of Hare Krishna. So whenever the opportunity arises, you get a chance to chant Hare Krishna, whether it's on your beads, whether it's a bhajan, or whether it's a kirtan. Do it. Give yourself to Krishna. Give yourself to that mood of pleasing Him through His holy name. And that's why we do it. No other reason. We do it to please Krishna. When Krishna's pleased, you can see how you feel. He's got so much bliss, it overflows and you get some. So please Krishna and get some of that bliss. Because if you're getting the bliss, you're going to want to do it again and again and again. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama Thank you very much for allowing me to be here tonight. Thank you for letting me bring my friend Krishna Avatar. He spices things up a little bit. Thank you to the djembe. Thank you to the wampus. Thank you to the photographer, the cartels. Thank you to Amethyst. Thank you for your name. Thank you to the temple president. Thank you all for being here. I hope you appreciate just how special Sri Dham Mayapur is. And tomorrow, I understand you're going to another very special place, HG Jivanatha. I was just there a couple of weeks ago, and I left my heart in HG Jivanatha. It's very special. Not that you would know this, but in the late 70s, I was in Vrindavan, and it was like HG Jivanatha is now. Vrindavan's a little different. But HG Jivanatha still has that feel. And if you allow Lord Nityananda to enter into your hearts, he's happy to do that. HG Jivanatha is very, very special. The deities are special, the temple is special, and the whole land of HG Jivanatha is very sweet. So I hope you have a wonderful time. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. So we are very, very grateful that His Grace Jivanatha Prabhu, out of his busy schedule, he came with his very merciful heart to give us this wonderful association. I hope, and blessing. So Prabhuji also, just while he entered, he told that I want to come to Bhubaneswar. So I think it's right time. Then Prabhuji, you should make a plan and we'll make all the arrangements. So you don't need to worry about all that. And also, Krishna Avatar Prabhu, you're also welcome. So wonderfully they led the Kirtan and the pastimes. We were in the other world. We were in Mayapur or Prabhupada's time, we don't know. So we are so thankful and grateful to Prabhuji for showering his blessings upon us. And we asked while on the way if anybody had chanted 64 rounds. How many of you chanted 64 rounds that day? Because our train was late. Okay, quite a few. Okay, please come here. Prabhuji will give you a book. All of you come here.
What does it feel like to chant 64 rounds? Do you feel different?
They can say.
For real? I mean, I have never chanted 64 rounds, I'll be honest. I've done 50 a few times, but never 64. That's pretty impressive. How long did they have to wait to chant 64 rounds in the bus, you said?
While waiting in the train.
Well, waiting in the train, I see.
Before the train came.
You chanted 64 rounds while waiting for the train. Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, all of you can come in, then we'll have a group photo. Yes. So I request Mr. Satyapati Prabhu to give this to Krishna Avatar Prabhu. All of you please come in, we'll have a group photo.
Going.
डब्बा तले रखी दियो जो डब्बा गुड़ा अच्छी आगे हिंदू मन मत जाके तले रखी दियो एक तरह एक पुट पड़े ऐसा किचन है पड़ सकते एक पुट पड़े Uday can you go and Pulkit can come.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
So, Indumit Mataji, Prabhuji request to give you the Prasadi garland for nicely preaching all the congregation here. Hari Bol!
Hari Bol!
Jai Srila Prabhupada!
So it just goes to show, if you preach, you get the mercy, right? Anyone can remember that.
ट्राइपॉड लग जाएगा
Jacobi can actually move quite clear. And Jacob can maybe no way. Jai His Grace Jivanatha Prabhu ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Go Premanande.